Welcome back to CfTesla. It is the next day after Christmas and we have the new Christmas release. Now, my first thoughts are, did we get some of those things we wanted, like waypoints in our navigation, a way to adjust our backup camera, maybe that 360-degree view? I've been waiting for an update with some tangible, good items to start talking about and using in real life. And I know many of you have as well. We've heard frustration on this channel of people saying, why are they sending out these updates that don't really mean anything to us? Why not just bundle them together and send them out another time? We're going to take a look at these updates and see if we notice any of those changes. But I know that there are videos out there already, so many of you guys have already seen a lot of what this update does bring. I haven't gone out there to look at it yet. I got it yesterday morning, but of course I spent the whole day with my kids because, well, it's Christmas. So if you've already seen this update, you already kind of know about it, but you're wondering what I'm going to do with it, I've got some ideas. I will most definitely end up being very embarrassed, but you're going to have to wait. So now this update does not look like it is anything that is going to be, working with autopilot or anything like that. But of course, we're going to go test that anyway and to see what this actually brings to us. Now, you've already heard about Boombox. We know that that's a part of this update. And I'm not just going to go sit in my garage and play music for you because that's freaking boring. But I got an idea for that. We'll talk about it later. Let's go out to the car and take a look at the changes. All right, and turn the screen back towards you there. Now, there's a couple things that someone or a few people have brought up in comments. One is if you have the tilt screen like I do, will the speedometer be covered by the steering wheel? I can still see with the screen tilted all the way towards me just right off the bat here that I can see the edge of the steering wheel right here is where I'm sitting. And I'm kind of, sitting straight on my steering wheel right now. So I don't really see that becoming an actual issue for me. But anyway, we'll look at it. So, I mean, there's obvious things to see right here. One, the car, this is all different. I mean, open, close, let's see, open. Well, that's interesting. I hit open, my trunk is open, but now it's saying, wait, it's coming, what's it doing? It's possessed. I don't think that's supposed to be doing that. Press it again. Okay, my trunk goes down. I have a motorized trunk lift, you see, so I don't know if that's messing with this or what, but that you saw that was definitely a little bit of a glitch there in terms of my rear trunk. Let's see about the frunk. Let's see if it says it's going to stay open. Okay, so that one says it's going to stay open. Let me try this again. But that's cool. Now, I wonder if it can track the windows. Let's see. Oh, look at that, because I am only down about that far. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so back windows it does show as well. Okay, rolling them all back up. And they did go up both at the same time. Very cool. Now, does this thing spin? It does not. Okay, I can lock the car, unlock the car, which controls, you can see my lights change down here. And then, open and close the charge ports there. Okay, what happens if I tap on this? Okay, so that's just bringing up my charging like before. Nothing's different on here. That all looks the same. Right off the bat, one thing I do see right here is I do see the windshield wipers now have a button down here. I'm not sure that really matters to me. I mean, I would kind of like to have them put something else down there a little more functional for me because just tapping this pulls up the same thing that does. I don't really know that really adds any value to me. I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to think through why that when there was so many other things maybe that they could have put there. That you would actually gain access to a little differently. Like, for example, I see they've taken away the button for navigation or for voice control. Why not put that there or something that you're going to actually use a lot? Let's do a quick comb through the settings and see if there's anything new. Nothing in the lights, nothing in the locks. Everything looks about the same. One thing I'm just looking at here, though, it says car left open notification. This doesn't say anything about this in the release notes, I don't believe, but this is, I don't remember seeing that before. You guys let me know real quick. Has that been there? By the way, we should probably do that. Let's click on the software here. And in case you're wondering what one I'm on here, it is 2020.48.26. And of course, you guys have already seen that all over the place. But if we look at the release notes here, one thing we notice that when I first got in the car, it was up. Was that it looks a little bit different now. I mean, we now have all these different, you see previous release notes, which is something that's new, which I love that because then you can kind of compare it to the last, which actually this isn't my last. My last one was 48.12.1. So I guess that's kind of rounding off to the main numbers, not the little in-between little glitch fixes. But let's just kind of see here. Vehicle information. Let's just see improvements. It says a Tesla T has been removed from the top status bar. Okay, yeah, so it used to be right here, that little T, because I think we used to click on that to get to all of our like Easter eggs and all those little cool things. Not Easter eggs, but little cool things we used to do. Let's see, control software for the same information. Exactly. It was kind of a double. Didn't need it there. Supercharging improvements. So supercharger pins on the touchscreen will now display the number of available stalls. That's super cool. That's actually a thing like I was talking about we could actually use. We're getting ready to go on a road trip all the way down to Southern California here in a couple months. And so we're going to be able to use a lot of that. Emissions testing mode improvements. Emissions testing mode can now be used outside the car to select your desired sound and place the cushion on the external speaker. Okay, it took me a second there to catch on what in the world they were talking about. They're talking about the whoopee cushion on the external part of the car and the speaker down there. If you guys don't know, on the outside of the car in the wheel well, there's a speaker kind of mounted down there, and that's where the sound comes from for like your backup camera sounds, or not backup camera, but backup reverse sounds, stuff like that. Scheduled departure improvements. What do we got going on here? Scheduled departure can now precondition your battery and cabin even when your car is unplugged. To account for different utility rate plans, you can now select the time when you're off-peak hours or peak rates and to save on charging costs. To access, tap schedule from the climate control. Okay, well, that's cool. We'll have to check that out in a minute. Driving and visualizations improvements. The driving visualizations has been refreshed and now offers a large visualization to allow drivers to view more details on the road. The next turn will now appear above the visualizations. Yes, if the navigation turns left is covered by another app. Okay, so we're going to see all that when we start actually moving. Boombox, you guys have heard about. We now have solitaire in the car, which is that's good. That it's good to have solitaire. Cat Quest, another game. Don't care. The Battle of Polly something rather, don't care. Don't play games in my car, but I'm sure the other of you guys love that, but we won't be reviewing that here because I'm all about autopilot and actual functional things. We won't be looking at that today. Okay, let's get out and test some of this stuff out, guys. Let me go grab the kids. So another thing that I noticed right off the bat here was that these cameras seem to be bigger. I remember them being a lot smaller before, my side cameras down here, and this also seems to be a little bit higher. Like these icons do appear to be actually bigger than they used to be. I could be wrong on that, but they do kind of seem that way. So we definitely have a lot more visualization over here, which is really nice. Also, I noticed that all of the icons are all down the side now. When you start the car, when you first get in the car and put your foot on the brake, these all light up. There's a lot more notifications down here on the side. You have your park, reverse, neutral, and drive up here on the screen, which is also new to have that there versus kind of up here. So it's a lot cleaner looking screen because, again, the idea is that they're going to have a lot more stuff on it. So let's go and just see just how different this actually is. This is actually a pretty exciting update. So looking at it right here, my first impressions are that I like it. Lots of, oh, look at the visualizations are huge. Oh, blinker, the blinker is now showing. Okay, so we now see blinkers on our car. That is something that I don't remember ever seeing before. I believe that that is also new. I think that this is a big leap. You see the blinkers now showing up here as well versus up at the top. And so we've got the speed limit sign or speedometer right here showing, and then the speed limit sign over here, and then we got the max speed right there. If I tilt my screen like that, it in no way is obstructed by the steering wheel, so that's just fine. So all is good there. Also, another thing is when you press this down arrow here and it takes away the two bottom cameras or side cameras, it doesn't make that much difference on your screen anymore. As before it would drop all the way down, now it doesn't. So might as well leave them open. It's not really saving you or giving you a bigger picture. The icons down here feel more crisp as well. They definitely have a little bit like a refreshed look to them. Okay, there's the steering wheel then, right in the very center. So we put it into autopilot, and we're rolling now. We gotta, yeah, you definitely notice the size of the car on your screen. It's very evident that you're looking at a different type of screen now. So stopping for a stoplight up here, let's see if the visualizations are any bigger for the stoplights or how that looks. It looks all about the same. So let's turn right, got that blinker showing again. And I'm gonna just take over because obviously I can't control. I do not have the rewrite, in case you're wondering. And so let's do this. Let's get going here on this kind of backcountry type road. Already right here we can rule out the ability to do waypoints because right now if I were to go into navigate and you know, type in something, we'll go to this place in Auburn. Yeah, it changes the new destination and it takes out the old one. So nothing's gonna change there. In terms of handling on the road, one thing I'm going to be looking for here is, again, how well it stays between the two lines. And I've driven on this road a few different times because it has two little turns that it's always had issues with. It tends to hug that center yellow line a bit, but we're starting to see improvements on that in the last couple updates. So we're going to really see if it makes a difference here on this turn. I'm hoping that it grabs and stays closer. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, here comes actually up to the turn. So hands are ready on the wheel just in case, as always. How is it going to grab it there? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That was actually a pretty substantial improvement over the last time I took that turn. What's going to be nice now, too, is that you're going to be able to actually see better where it's going to be placing itself in the lane. All right, we're back in the navigation again. And one thing that I'm noticing right out the bat with the navigation is because there's a smaller screen, what you're actually seeing is like this is covering up a lot more of the map. Like that blue line was kind of up inside this, which is okay because this is actually transparent, but they didn't used to have a lot more real estate for the navigation. And so you do lose a lot of that great big nice picture you used to see. This is probably in the long run going to be more functional to have it like this, and I'm probably going to be thankful for this, but it certainly does feel smaller on the navigation side because I would say it's at least an inch smaller than it used to be. And you do feel it. Okay, I think this is what they were talking about right here. If I have something else up on the screen, that's another thing that they do. Let's say I have up what I just have in there, like my settings. See, what it does is it now pops up on your screen and tells you what your next turn is and the distance because you can no longer see it over here. So that must be what they're talking about. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I just seen some updates where people were posting that, I think maybe only on the Model X. But that actually pulls up a visualization like you see on like Google Maps and other things now up on your screen. But now it's just going to give us that. Let's just see if we can see that tested in a few other areas. All right, so as we come bailing into town here, the speed automatically drops. We've got it, our nice big old barrier visualizations here as they change colors the closer you get to them, which is nice. Better than putting like a distance on there. Oh, and look at that. Okay, so it does add the lane on there as well. That's what I wanted to see right here. So it is going to tell us what lane to get into. And it's, you know what, it's nice and clean. I do like that about it. It is really clean way of doing it. So that is great. I'm going to take it off autopilot here because we're going to be making a turn here in just a few minutes. And I want to just see the path as we get back onto the freeway if that changes. Okay, so we do have the next coming up as well. So that was the next thing I wanted to see was what that would actually look like. So that is two big improvements. I mean, that right there for me made this update worthwhile. The Boombox thing, it's something I'll never use if my kids are in the car. But, you know, this is actually a useful thing. So I'm assuming then, I want to know, is this going to just disappear or is it going to fade up? What's that going to look like when this one comes into action here, when we actually could turn left here at this light? And you do got a lot of things going on that screen. I can see why they made it bigger. I mean, you got all the 4 lights right there. You've got the current turn, the lanes we're in, and the next turn coming up, and the lane that we need to be in, well, the direction we're going to be turning. So love that phone holder. So many. We've sold, I think, over 80 of these already, people on the channel. If you guys want one of these, check down the description below. Absolutely incredible phone holder. Look at this Dodge trying to get away from us. He's revving up. His engine is blaring. We're just coasting. Okay, we'll let him get the ticket. We could have destroyed him. And guess what? I can still smell him from here. Very fun. Okay, so let's see if we can notice anything different here on the freeway with autopilot. So here we go. Let's put it in. Why isn't it going in? Oh, I'm smart. I was doing it with my indicators, not my gear stock. Okay, so same thing. We've just got the visualization up here, and lots and lots of space on the screen to see. I like this. I think it's a big improvement. What do you guys think, kids? You like this better? You can see Daddy's car bigger? Yeah, see that? Hey, Devin, kids approved. Here's a copper sitting up here. Let's see if it picks it up. I'm surprised that he didn't nail that Dodge, man. That guy was going 400 miles an hour past him. He must have been like looking away at the moment or something. Oh my word. Well, I'm glad we weren't racing him because that wouldn't have been good. You're sacrificing a little bit from not having as big of a screen over here, which I really like that. I really like my full map, but I'm guessing that we just needed more here. That's why they did this. I don't know. Did you guys think we were running out of space on this side? There were certainly times when it felt like it, when you just had too much stuff on your screen. But now that they've added this, I don't think they could have done that if they didn't shrink the screen and make it a little cleaner. So I guess I do like that part of it. Let's get to the next turn and see what it looks like. All right, and here we go. So once again, it's telling me which lane to be in. And, you know, they're actually showing this as a turn lane. That's the exit right there. Let's see what the car does right now as it turns it on itself and takes the exit. Automatic blinker takes it. It would be kind of neat if it showed this arrow going like that though, instead of just being straight. So I just wanted to take a quick drive kind of through this main arterial, this town here, and just see if we see any new visualizations, what they look like on the screen. I mean, lights look the same, great detail, maybe a little more detail actually. You're seeing a little bit more graphics around. Okay, so text message pop-ups. I mean, your cards here are actually pretty big, which is nice to have that. You know, cones, turn lanes, everything else looks basically the same. I think the biggest point here is things are just bigger, and you've got the next street coming up. So now I'm trying to think about what to do with this boombox thing, and really what's the way we can really test this out and see what kind of impact it actually has with volume and all that, rather than just playing it in a parking lot. How lame. What I think we're gonna do is, I got a new channel sponsor. They're sending me out a new 360 camera that captures everything around you, and then in post, you can frame in whatever you want to actually see. What about if I mounted it to the roof of my car? We drove through parking lots and everything, and with all this crazy stuff playing, and we caught reactions of the public, being able to actually capture them with that 360 camera. I think that'd be kind of funny. So I'll tell you what, if this video gets, I don't know, we'll call it 700 likes, okay, we'll go out and I'll embarrass the heck out of myself in public. What do you guys think? All right, so 700 likes, we mount the 360 camera on top of my car, and we go out there and get reactions from the public. Okay, so one thing I just noticed is that when we were driving here, my kids wanted to turn on the rock and roll things. I came over here thinking I couldn't do it, but you actually can. I could turn it on right there, and so technically it should be playing right now, so I can turn it on while I'm driving, but when I open up the window, I hear a lot of wind noise. I can't hear anything. So the volume does not control the outside speaker. We'll wait till we get to this light here, and we'll see if I hear anything. Yeah, it is so quiet, you can't really hear it outside when you're driving around. Yeah, let's see. We're gonna drive by this guy here, see if we can catch his reaction. Here comes the ice cream truck. He just covers his eyes. He's like, I don't even want to know, man. That's actually pretty loud out there, you guys. People were hearing that from that was like 80 feet up the hill. Okay, here's someone else. Let's drive by. See how far away they heard that? They're waving at me like, what an idiot. Here's more people at their car. Let's see what they do. We're getting a lot of that stare like, that's not an ice cream truck. Thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. If you haven't already, make sure and subscribe. We've got lots of videos we're always working on, and if you like this video, you're gonna like the ones coming. Now don't forget, if you want to ask me questions and be part of a chat where you can learn about your Tesla, gain confidence, don't forget to check out our Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you can have access to all my videos, all archived right there for you, as well as listen in to some of the conversations that we're having there on the channel. And of course, there is a tier higher to enter into the conversation. I've also added in there a whole page of all the accessories that I recommend and have reviewed on this channel, as well as a description about what my likes and dislikes are of the product and if I still use them today. Well, that's my little sales pitch. I hope to see you on Patreon.